is going to be happening. Whatever they end, they're taking their time there. They go for the Vladimir, and that's the similar comp that Balkan actually was running with Karthus mid and Vladimir top. It's had mixed success.
Okay, so we've got one last pick here to go for Dignitas, which could be, I'm guessing, a mid or top laner, though you more predict that it's Skara on Zed, I suppose?
I feel like it's going to be Skara on Zed. Even though he had poor results yesterday against CLG, he's been practicing it a lot. And Kiwi Kid has things like Renekton available if he really wants to go for it. He's got to think that he's going up against Vladimir or in a 1v2 situation. I mean, even Elise is available, which is one of Kiwi Kid's like most played champions throughout all of the LCS. There is the chance that they're just going to kind of blow our minds and go like Kale again, like they did against CLG yesterday, but that didn't work out for them either. So I would expect something like a Renekton or an Elise.
So I would think of GGU's team comp as sort of team fight based, like without much split push. Would that be accurate?
Oh dear, I'm going to get back to that.
Mind, go for it.
It's a Fizzy Fizz. This is something that Kiwi Kid has been playing a whole bunch of. It's 30 offense, top lane Fizz. The last time I checked he was doing it. He goes split pen runes with ability power quintessences. I was trying to steal Kiwi Kid's rune pages the other day because I wanted to make Diamond 5. But and, he's actually pretty good with it. That's an incredibly aggressive pick against Vladimir, and it's going to be really tough for Zion Spartan to lane in that. I'd actually expect a lane swap because of how powerful Fizz can be in that top lane.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening. Of course, we've got 25 seconds left for these guys to pick their summoner spells. I'm not really expecting TP revive Vladimir, though I've seen stranger things.
Man, he likes messing around with those summoner spells. I look at the team comp, though, and GGU kind of has to survive for the team fight phase because the laning coming out of Dignitas is just awesome. The bottom lane matchup with Yana and... I was going to say Yana, I've been watching too much Ocelot, and Varus is actually not incredibly strong early, but once it comes to the late game, it will be a good combo.
Okay, so we are getting ourselves into the game very, very shortly. That crazy guitar music has stopped, which means that Champion Select has ended and we're into the load screen portion. And I just kind of want to recap the standings because I think it's very different because we haven't seen it be this close in a while, really. So again, GGU are in 6th place. They've had a really rough season so far, but they're actually presently in 6th. They're presently in the playoffs. A loss ties them for 6th, and they could drop below Marn. Dignitas, though, and you said it in the beginning, right? They're the top of a lot of people's power rankings. They had a really, really good start after week 1. They are 1 win up and 1 loss down, like +1 win, -1 loss against TSM. Right? They lose here, TSM wins here, TSM ties for 2nd, and suddenly Dignitas might knock the automatic bye into the summer split anymore. And
this is a real threat for Dignitas, right? It's no longer one of those things where the bottom teams are pushovers. Because even when you look at the standings and you still see the definition between kind of the top 4 and the bottom 4, but so much of that is from the early season. I know it's not that big of a trend to keep track of, but like the biggest current streak, win or loss in the NALCS right now is 3 games. Curse has the longest active winning streak in 3 games, which just kind of shows how much all of these teams have been beating up on each other, regardless of where they are in the standings. Like the closest game we saw yesterday was the #1 seed team versus the #8 seed team. And we're actually getting a lot of parity in the matches, even though it's not yet reflected in the standings.
All right, and of course we now have started into the game. Dignitas in red. We're watching them on your screen right there. Off screen is the Good Game University group in blue. But Dignitas are playing aggressively right here, looking for an early Wraith Ward. And they do, of course, get that pretty successfully. GGU, they're lurking around in the shadows, but no one's even there to shine a light on them.
Yeah, they're hoping Kiwi Kid's just kind of meandering up through that triangle bush and looking to go into the top lane, but they're not going to find any of that. I mean, Dignitas is the only team to actually place wards so far. GGU's still wandering around hoping to find someone, but right now GGU is nowhere close. There's the first ward for them. It does look like these are just fact-finding missions for these guys early on. They're just grouping up in 5. They could have had a big clash if just random luck was different, but based on their rotations right now, it does look like very standard jungle starts will come out of it, even though there's a fair bit of information gained knowing where and where other teams aren't.
And of course, Dignitas did see GGU come down on the left-hand side. The ward they had on the left mid-brush did see them. So right now, Dignitas actually knows that they are safe. DJ Lambo is starting up on his jungle camp. You're seeing Kiwi Kid and Skara help on their own right here. Looks like W learned at level 1 for Fizz. They're clearing that one out. And the blue buff will be started soon. I'm also not I actually am seeing interesting lanes here. We've got the duo lane mid for GGU University, Zion Spartan sent to the bottom, with Jinte sent to the top.
Yeah, GGU has complete control over these lanes because they saw Scar and Kiwi Kid taking the race. They knew exactly that Kiwi Kid was going to be going top and Scar was going to be going mid. So Jinte would have had the choice there to go mid lane or top lane. He says, all right, I'm going to play against the Fizz. They're not going to 2v1 the Fizz. They're rather going to 2v1 Scara, whether that's because they want to keep Scara down as now the pretty much forced into a shot-calling role this week with Crumbs out and DJ Lambo in the jungle. We'll see if it ends up paying off. They're trying to disrupt Scara, I think, more so than thinking that Karthus versus Fizz is a good matchup.
Yeah, I can't imagine Karthus versus Fizz being very fun, honestly, but...
There we go.
Yeah,
right?
Jinte down below half health, but he does have a total of 9 health potions, chugged 2 of them so far. He will be tanky for some time. Kiwi Kid looks to be having a much better time of this one, and Kiwi Kid did open up with the red elixir as well. While DJ Lambo has started on the Lizard buff, he of course has Smite available. That's going to be his, making him level 3 right now.
Oh my god, Kiwi Kid!
Ooh, he had to flash that one, takes a bunch of damage from that turret. Popped his red elixir on that one as well. Jinte, the exhaust, keeping himself alive. Suddenly, Kiwi Kid has burned a lot of his money on that elixir.
Yeah, he got a little hyped up there in that lane, wanted to try to make something happen before it was ready. He didn't really estimate that Jinte's exhaust would shut him down there. He must have just been used to fighting against people with Ignite in top lane, because that is a miscalculation. He took way too much free damage there. A lot of his advantage was actually squandered with that amount of damage he took from the turret.
That is going to be painful for him. We're seeing this duo lane mid, though. Level 3 versus level 3 so far. Well, 3 and 3 versus level 2. Whatever. Continuing on. But you do see 3 and 2 versus 3. There's numbers, there's stuff. 12 minions, though, on Scar. He's not completely shut down right now. QtPie's having a pretty good lane. Nintendo does show up. Scar taking a bunch of punishment, has been ignited as well. They do not go in for the pressure. Mashmi could have technically flashed, I suppose. Scar is alive with the red elixir popping. Zion Spartan and Nintendo crushing out on this turret, trying to keep that from going down. It looks like it is safe. Yeah,
well, at the very least, what GGU has forced Dignitas into doing is popping all 3 red elixirs before 4 minutes. Oftentimes, like Dignitas always starts with triple red elixir usually to win the lanes early.
They always start usually. Yes.
You got that, man. I am on today. But with all of that, they've lost that early game pressure once they wear off, and DJ Lambo is kind of stuck trying to farm off. I really want to see how he performs today, because yesterday they were criticizing him as he gets hooked about trying to create creative ganks and not applying pressure. He kind of did the same thing in bottom lane, where he ran down there not to do much, and a jungler like Hecarim has to farm. So I feel like DJ Lambo can't give in to the pressure, and he needs to be patient.
Well, we'll see what happens. Of course, Zion Spartan has been dropped very, very low, but Mashmi and Daydream are about to take down this turret. Nintendo shows up as well. They should be able to get this turret for free right now. So the first turret at 4 minutes and 42 seconds is going to go to Good Game University.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can keep this bottom turret alive. There's a full minion wave right here with a cannon as well. And nope, that's going to be Dignitas equalizing the turret score.
Nintendo Dex is behind them, so they might think about fighting after this, especially with QtPie taking that turret shot. This could get interesting, actually.
It's going to be Patoy running back, and he finds that one. Nintendo does not look for the wither. They won't fight. Scar actually up in the battle against Mashmi. He's going to take that lantern and get himself back out of that fight. And of course, we have seen that there have been no early ganks that have been successful from the junglers on either side right here. Just a turret being traded both ways around. And it set itself to a 7,000 to 7,000 gold game. So individuals might be doing better than other individuals, but team versus team, equal game.
I gotta say though, GGU does have the advantage, it just doesn't show in the gold, because 750 gold of consumables gone for Dignitas, right? Once those red elixirs are up. And when you see 2 people mid versus 2 people on a side lane, if the mid lane falls, it's an advantage for the team that took the mid lane. They will get more overall map control off of having that turret down, and it's actually quite rare that the mid lane turret falls before the bottom lane turret, which is what happened in this game. So, close gold, but I would say that the early edge does go to GGU.
And we can see that Kiwi Kid's red elixir has timed out now. So that gold loss that you were talking about, you're seeing it right here. He is just poorer for everything that happened. And we can see him just continuing farming up. DJ Lambo actually taking up this mid lane as well. And you mentioned that Hecarim is a farm-based jungler. You're seeing him get that farm right here. We'll see how this Death Pony does as this game scales on. Patoy running around to the mid lane. He said he was... Oh, no, actually, take that back. Patoy switched up for exhaust. So when I mentioned the teleport split push thing, seems he didn't maybe want to go for that one as much.
Yeah, he just has the exhaust. I mean, it is a support choice, whether you want to go with the aggressive or the defensive summoner spells. Patoy on Janna bringing the exhaust. I mean, we saw Elimination. I think it was Lemonation bringing the heal.
Yes.
Daydreamin has the Ignite on Thresh. That's what we see a lot of Thresh players do. So it really is just that choice. And I like what Scar did here in the bottom lane, getting the harass on his Zion Spartan and actually forcing him to use the Ghost. So it'll give Scar a bit more freedom in that lane, at least for the escapes. I still don't think he's going to be able to kill Vladimir since he's got his flash up. But Scar lost the early pressure. He's trying to get it back in the bottom lane, 1v1 against Vladimir.
And you can see he does have 39 minions to his name. That's Scar, of course, which is beating out both of the solo lanes for Good Game University. So as far as he's concerned, doing a pretty good job, and I would kind of agree with that one. Jinte up here in this top lane, farming out on Karthus, broken up to 44 himself. So now he's the top dog on those numbers.
Yeah, and if we talk about that top lane a little bit more as the Dragon Ward gets cleaned out, Kiwi Kid hasn't executed this lane like he wants to. Normally, if you're getting a Karthus to go into a side lane, you want to punish the length of the lane so you can kill him. But Kiwi Kid hasn't been able to get the lane out of that spot. He pushed early, and Jinte's done a really good job managing the creeps, not letting it happen, which is why Karthus survived. And DJ Lambo did smite that away. All right, I thought he might lose it, but he managed to steal it from Nintendo.
So the blue is going to be there completely safe right there. Mashme, though, and company still pushing up in this mid lane right here, while Scar's at the bottom. So they've got a 4-on-3 potentially. This turret's going to start taking a little bit of damage. That's going to be the first inner middle turret to take pain in this map, of course. The other one has not even gone down yet.
Yeah, I think that's a loss of pressure overall for GGU, though. They did that push. They only got 200 damage on the turret. Patoy threw a shield on it. They cleared the wave with Varus and Janna, and the big result of that is Scar just got more free farm, while Vladimir did not. Even though the turret was already down, I like that hold from Dignitas, and the aggression play by GGU trying to group up didn't really work out for them.
Okay, and of course we see Jinte on the blue for himself, so he'll be getting the buff. DJ Lambo had grabbed that one the first time around. I guess Kiwi Kid nor Scara not needing that one quite as much, and they're letting the Horsey keep getting the farm here. PewDiePie in the mid lane. He's actually going to go for the ult on the Daydream, and Scar's going to go in for the damage as well. They've got a lot of punishment available here. He flays them backwards. Is it going to be enough? The death mark ticks. That is first blood going over to PewDiePie, there we go, but the ult comes off. Another one from Caitlyn. Will they chase this one down? Nintendo is trying to chase. No, won't do too much else. Just a 1-for-1, but first blood does go to the AD carry.
Scara did have the benefit of the death mark tracking through the flash of Daydreaming to allow that to finish off, but then he overcommitted and got hurt. DJ Lambo going for Jinte.
He's going to knock him right into the wall. Here comes, oh, he actually jukes the ult from Lambo. This is going to be a lot of pain, actually, on all sides. Will he get away from the turret in time? He lands the Q. Jinte finds the kill. Nintendo now onto Kiwi Kid. Puts the Wither on. There's a Spirit Fire. Kiwi Kid, will he jump over the wall in time? It looks like he's not going. He's still going for damage. He does hop the wall just barely, but Caitlyn is nearby. They won't go for it.
Kiwi Kid was waiting on the cooldown for that one, and the last Skittle snipe from Jinte turns that turret dive into a 1-for-1, and he has done an admirable job in that top lane as Karthus against a just nightmare matchup of 30 offense Fizz with no ganks actually applied to him at all, and he survived against Kiwi Kid. Then when they went to dive him, he got one back, so he also picked up a kill with his ultimate, so that's actually just an awesome turnout for Jinte.
It is going to be good overall. You're seeing him at 65 minions and 2 kills, which places him securely at 3,200 gold, the most on his team, and actually basically the most on anyone in this game. He's basically tied with Fizz right here. So a rich Karthus is in this game. You can see the rest of the gold down on your screen. Good Game University keep Caitlyn here in the mid lane.
It looks like they're just trying to apply the pressure, right? When Don't Mash Me gets farmed for GGU, they tend to win, right? Like when he's going, they play quite well. They don't necessarily have a tank frontline for him in this one, but they do have a damaging frontline. So if things are trying to dive through to Don't Mash Me, they might be able to punish. I really want to see how the team fights play out on this because it's a very kind of divey mobile comp for Dignitas that can get in on Don't Mash Me, and not much overall frontline from either team. So the team fights should be very explosive.
You can see here Daydreamin pushing down, kind of holding in the mid lane, I should say. He's actually getting pushed on a little bit by Dignitas. Nintendo's going to grab the Lizard buff for himself. That will not be donated over. Bottom of the map, Zion Spartan is taking the double golems, and Mashme is once again in the mid lane, taking up some farm. So no major moves made by GGU in a little while.
I think they're just waiting on it. Look at the damage trying to go on Jinte. Fizz with a shark.
He's going all in on this one. He gets knocked into the air by an evil manatee. Kiwi Kid taking even more punishment, jumps into range. Turret damage is going to be there, but not going to be enough to kill him off. 1v1, the kill goes to Kiwi Kid.
And you can see as soon as that lane got past the halfway point, it was death for Karthus.
But in the bottom lane, Scar is taking a bunch of pain as well. That Wither really doing a number on him. Goes for the ult, puts damage on a Zion Spartan. Nintendo chasing down with the red buff. And he's going to ghost in. Zion Spartan wants his kill. Will he have enough damage? Oh. Scar is so very low. Zion, one more Q. The Living Shadow comes across. He's still not gotten the kill. Zion Spartan forced a flash wave, but here comes Patoy. Can Patoy win the duel? The heal coming in from Zion Spartan. That Q keeping him alive. And here comes Daydream. Freeman, and we'll see if they can save a life right there. The Lantern, he comes across. There's the W as well. The Tender will not land on anyone. Cutie Pie will not land the Q snipe either, and they get that kill for free. Kind
of free. They kind of had to work for that one a little bit, but they came away with the big play. I mean, it's 3 for 3 now. The gold is only 500. You factor in the elixirs that we've had and the fact that Dignitas is still down their middle turret, and this game is pretty much locked at this point. Kiwi Kid is going a little bit on Fizz. He actually went with the early home guard boot, so he's going to try to apply as much early pressure as possible. And I think we're going to see this Dragon attempt from Dignitas, despite having no ward control over this area. So GGU has complete vision this, but I don't know if they can counterattack.
They got a Destins up on the Kiwi Kid. Actually hops over the box while still slowing him, though. Takes a bunch of pain right there. Goes all in on Daydreaming. Can he get the kill? He does find one, but Caitlyn fires back. That's actually an assisted kill that happens, and the shutdown gold as well. And they found DJ Lambo. Nintendo wants to go in on this. He does have Smite available. The Horsey initiates on. Will they have the damage they need to kill him off? Lambo goes back on in, and they will retreat away, but Nintendo says, hey, wait, we can take this, guys, and a half-health Dragon, they're starting on this one. Dignitas still waiting around. Cutie Pie is in the wings. Nintendo ult times out, and they're not going to stop him. This will be GGU's Dragon.
That was a real nice collapse. One of the things about Hecarim is he is not a fast Dragon killer, and he takes a lot of damage on it, so he got a little bit low. When Kiwi Kid traded kills in the mid lane, it gave GGU a bit of confidence, and then they just went in for it. I gotta say, Nintendo X's presence with that Giant Fury of the Sands is big, and they are able to get the blue buff as well, so that doesn't hurt Dignitas too much because they have the solo lane Zed, but it does benefit GGU very much so because Karthus will be able to get that.
Now Scar just full clears a wave with 3 button presses in the top lane. He is still getting rich. The bling is showing up on him. 97 minion kills here on the Shadow Ninja. He will keep scaling throughout the game, trying to be a big assassin for us. Kiwi Kid up in the mid. Lambo sharing the wealth a little bit. It's so nice of Kiwi Kid to give him some of that gold. And look at this game, guys. I mean, really, it's 4-4, and you have a 300 gold difference between these two teams. And just like we saw with Complexity versus Curse, you've got kind of top versus bottom of the standings, and GGU are very much, heck, they're winning.
They've done a real good job. Look at this. The Spirit of the Spectral Wraith on Zion Spartan's Vladimir over in the bottom lane. He's going to try to be a split push nuisance as well. So it's like a Dignitas, what looked like a Dignitas strategy for split pushing, but they haven't been able to apply any more map pressure than what GGU has been putting on them. And the team fights haven't really gone well, at least the one Dragon team fight that we did see, because Dignitas was lacking a bit of coordination again. We saw that yesterday, and it's kind of coming through today.
Let's see if that ends up being even more of an issue as this game goes on. Kiwi Kid running back towards his side of the map, a little bit afraid of a pretty big AD carry. Cutie Pie Fitoy actually running to their own normal lane, that dual lane bottom. Imagine that. Having a decent time there. Getting some farm for themselves. Jinte up in the top. Again, we're just seeing them. GGU, they make sort of, it seems like, rare moves forward. They pressured for Dragon. They got that middle turret. They tried the second one. They go back to the lanes for a while. And they're kind of waiting around, it seems to me.
And I'm really wondering how Dignitas is going to play the rest of this, because yes, we haven't seen Fizz from Kiwi Kid all year. It's actually, Fizz top was a Zion Spartan pick near the start of the year, and we never really saw that one work, but it is a different style for Dignitas, right? They're essentially going for double assassins, and that's not something we've seen much of before. When Kiwi Kid plays Elise, it's like a tanky Elise. And now, Skara and their assassin buddies were looking to go for Zion Spartan, but they got caught on an award. Like, Dignitas doesn't have their regular, like, tank line, super solid team fight, and we're going to farm up and win this one. They have to play differently, and they're trying to work it around DJ Lambo.
Let's see if that ends up happening for them. Right now, everything that's really working here is for Kiwi Kid. He is 3-1-0 with 120 minion kills. Seems to be the biggest force on the map so far as I can tell at least. Speaking of Kiwi Kid, he is shoving down this top lane. It will be a 2-on-2 though as Vlad and Nasus show up, but will it be enough in time? This turret is losing a whole bunch of health. Zion Spartan does walk forward, and Dignitas just runs the heck away. They do not want any part of the scary dog.
Yeah, they'll get that turret on the rebound. They weren't really confident in being able to fight under the turret, and they know this game is still really close. Plus, there's the fact that Kiwi Kid's already got those 3 kills, doesn't want to get shut down any farther, and it's just a matter of trying to keep pressure up, but it's getting countered very, very well by GGU.
And right now it is a 400 gold lead still. It's kind of stayed that way for the last few minutes so far. We're 15, almost 16 minutes into the game. GGU University versus Dignitas, the first LCS matchup of the day. These teams still neck and neck, and I'm wondering who's going to make the next big move. There's a missing ping over the top lane. GGU did know that Skara had hit in the brush for a little while there. We're seeing Kiwi Kid just wave clear over and over and over again, looking toward that Lich Bane. Going to keep scaling as the assassin. And it's GGU playing the farm game again.
And there's definitely more wards on the map for GGU than there is Dignitas. and Kiwi Kid doesn't care. He's going in over the wall.
He finds Jinte, puts the Manatee onto him as well. He's trying to jump away from this one, has a shield from Batoy, but suddenly he's been very, very outnumbered. The heal from Batoy saving his life. Kiwi Kid waiting around in the Monsoon area to heal. Gets out safely. That was close.
It's a really good thing that Kiwi Kid stuck around in that Monsoon. Otherwise, Jinte's Karthus ultimate would have finished him off. And because they realized that Kiwi Kid got healed up, Jinte didn't even bother trying the ultimate. But that was just an example of Kiwi Kid just kind of going all aggression, and the lack of wards and lack of knowledge backfiring a bit, because as soon as he went in, he had to go straight back out, and he didn't even get to fight.
Jinte exhausted him, and it just shattered his damage output, it seemed. But at the bottom lane, all that aggression has paid a price, because Good Game University will take down their second turret of the game. That is Mashme and Daydream, and for the first time that I can remember actually leaving that middle lane. They found themselves a nice bit of farm.
And look at the farm for Don't Mash Me, 174. He's going with a different AD carry build than I'm a Cutie Pie as well. It's the Infinity Edge versus the Bloodthirster. He also went for double Thorns Blades early, so he's actually much stronger than I'm a Cutie Pie right now if they were to just fight each other. Also going for that crit cloak right off the bat, which tells me they're going for Phantom Dancer as well, which is just the big-time single target damage, as now Dignitas still trying to roam around a lot and get kills. Let's see if they can turn something here.
Yeah, this could be pretty big as DJ Lamo jiving on in. The Horsey comes in the blood pool, though, from Vladimir. Will they have enough damage that they need? He jumped the wrong way, Kiwi Kid. Didn't even go for anything on that one and just walked right out of that one. Yeah, nothing really happened.
Yeah, a little weird. I thought he was going for a kill, and he's like, no, that's a big dog. Get me out of here! But now they're trying to push down on the top turret as well. But again, they're matched by GGU. I gotta say, considering all the hubbub we made about Bloodwater leaving GGU, what are they going to do? Yeah. How are they going to stick without a shot caller? What's going to happen? They're going to be completely unorganized. It's like, was GGU really a super organized team with Bloodwater? Not really, but they've stepped it up since they've lost Bloodwater, and they look quite organized here.
Exactly what Mashme said, in the interview. He said, we lost him. We had to sort of take a step back and realize, guys, we've got 2 weeks left. This is not good. And they just all upped their game individually. It's really nice to see really a team turn themselves back. We kind of saw that with Complexity when they grabbed Prawley. They suddenly started looking really, really sharp out of nowhere. And I like to see as teams improve, as they get better throughout the season. It's a fun story. It's fun to follow overall. Dignitas going near Dragon.
Yeah, the Dragon has been back up, and Skara is off, pushing a turret. One shot, Ninja slices it down, but that tells GGU, hey, Skara's top lane, we got 5 people Dragon. They might want to try this. We've seen some teams get in trouble with 4v5 Dragons. DJ Lamo's ultimate on Hecarim is completely down, so I think Dignitas is just going to try to continue the split push game and completely concede this Dragon.
Well, Skara is on the left-hand side, and he is going towards a Bloodthirster, so he has the attack damage to deal pretty good damage to buildings. You're seeing this turret down about at half health, but the rest of GGU are moving over to stop this. Zion Spartan is nearby. Kiwi Kid, though, starting on the blue steel. We'll see if GGU can stop them in time. I don't think they will.
Yeah, they got to get this one fast, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. Let's see if Dignitas... Little bit of close there, skips away from the death sentence, and he's a free fish.
Okay, so he's made it away. The hook did not land, so go fish once more, Daydreaming. We'll see if he can get one later on. Scar recalling back on top of his own ward. Actually waits around. Zion Spartan is right there. He's actually in vision right here. Will he go in? Does not want to go in for the fight. Just lands a little bit of damage. We'll back off. And this one is actually the flash in for Daydreaming. Again, go fish. You've not quite landed that. Seems it's been a while since he went out fishing with his old grandpas.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, is that actually deep terror threat?
It is.
Yeah, I like that.
It's the nautical version.
He's not very good at it.
Really
yeah,
not.
He's missing too many hooks on the fish. I feel like he should pick different targets, ones that can't become invulnerable.
Or get better bait.
Yeah, that would work too.
Just throw Jinte out there. We've seen Kiwi Kid go for him over and over again. Bait with Jinte. You get the free hook. That's how it works. Didn't you learn that one? Anyway, Zion Spartan over here in the top lane. Then 10 dude waiting around in the middle with Daydreamin'. We've got an AD carry coming by as well. And speaking of the AD carry, I just wanted to point out real quick, because you mentioned the Rush Infinity Edge build. He does have 6% lifesteal from Quintessences. So one thing I've seen myself from AD carries, if they want to rush Edge as fast as possible, they save 800 on the Vamp Scepter by just getting lifesteal Quints, and they just suffer with a little bit less lifesteal than normal. And
I really just like the double Thorns. I really like the double Thorns build as well, right? It's just a matter of, you see it happen in tournaments and LCS all the time, but you don't see people getting it that much in solo queue. It's good, and Don't Match Me has a bunch of early power because of it, and for these team fights, he will have an edge because of that extra health and life on hit. So Dignitas, again, trying to make something happen. It's not as organic as it used to be. Their pressure just doesn't seem to be there, but they're trying to force mid here. We might see a fight if a hook lands, but that one hit a creep. We don't see anything yet.
And yeah, the wither on Cutie Pie does not quite stop him up enough either, and they will back off. The Tendril Corruption comes out, but has not quite landed on anybody of GGU, but now they just might initiate with one of those ultimates on cooldown. They are shoving up hard.
I gotta say, I've seen so many Varus ultimates miss and then have the team just win a team fight, because people think there's more power in that Varus ultimate than there is sometimes. If it's down, teams to initiate, and they forget that Varus is still a really good AD carry without his ultimate. So we'll see if GGU forces a fight too hard here, or if they just take the slight pressure edge knowing that the ultimate's down.
See if they do anything about that, though. Dignitas are still holding strong in that mid lane. Scar running back to the top to split out, and you've seen him now at 184 minions. You mentioned that Scar split push, the Zed split push, being a major factor, and he has been off on his own, getting gold for a while here. The Bloodthirster is completed on him. The rest of Dignitas actually shoving down on this mid lane. They're going to look for some damage to the Cutie Pie. The Wither is there. The K-ult as well. They get the hook on the Kiwi Kid as well. Cutie Pie goes down. The box has been escaped, actually. The shield comes by to keep him alive from the Hemo Plague, but they found one for nothing. Will GGU keep moving?
Cutie Pie just did not get away, and Don't Match Me is way ahead of them. They're getting a lot of pressure here on mid lane.
That is Patoy taking a whole bunch of punishment. They do have a 5-on-4 available here. The next minion wave is about 10 seconds out, so GGU sits around. Maybe they'll pull Wolves. A little bit of wildlife killing.
GGU should make this decision fairly quickly, though, because both their side lanes are pushed up fairly far behind them, so they want to get damage on this turret soon and not get initiated on a bad fight. They do have the numbers advantage, but DJ Lambo's ultimate would be up if they wanted to get something. This is a pretty tense situation.
They got the turret down below half health. The minions are going to crash into that bottom turret right now, but they didn't quite get enough damage. Skara and Patoy wave cleared that mid lane so very well. Mashpi's running down to the south to try to pick up that farm.
So kind of a little bit of a reset. They landed the death sentence on someone who wasn't Cutie Pie, but then they killed Cutie Pie anyway, just because they'd landed the Wither on it beforehand. That's the easy skill shot. They're just like, yes. Click. You're stunned.
Takes a lot of skill to click on a model.
Nintendo Dex likes that champion.
Hey, it's good.
He likes picking Nasus. He's like, screw all these hard skill shots. Jungle
They found Scar, though, in the mid lane right here. A little bit of damage is available. Can he get over the wall in time? There is the shadow. He will hop out of this one. Okay, he get down to half.
Yeah, he just kind of jumped over the wall with that one. And I see Scar's build on Zed as well. A lot of the Zeds we'll see will max the Shadow Slash, the E, and then the W. Scar's actually went E and Q as Kiwi kicked Sharks on Zion, but he just pulls away. No biggie.
Apparently the Sharks do not like eating blood very much, nor do Manatees in this case. Scar waiting around in the mid lane is still at half health. Going to be a little bit more difficult for him to recover his health unless he lands some basic attacks here. But the rest of Dignitas are pretty much nearby. We don't see someone splitting out like we have before, so Dignitas, maybe they're looking to make a move right here, clearing out these minion waves rather quickly.
They have been mid for so long. I mean, the last time they did 5 mid, not much came of it, and then Scar went to push top and they got engaged on. So they're here again, and again we're seeing someone from their team, this time Kiwi Kid running off to the top. This time Dignitas kind of backs away because they realize their 4v5 vulnerability, but this game has reached a bit of a stall here as neither team really has a big move to make.
And now it's Mashmi taking up his Lizard buff. So he's been grabbing this for a while now. We've seen him claim this buff on his side of the map a couple times in a row. DJ Lambo got actually claim farm at the bottom. It's interesting, they're actually choosing him over Skara as Skara goes back to take down Wolves. So they're prioritizing their farm differently as the game goes on. It's interesting to see how that develops overall. Of course, Jinte getting the blue buff is no surprise to anybody.
Yeah, Hecarim scales remarkably well amongst all junglers, right? So the more farm they can get to DJ Lambo, if they trust him, which they should be because they need to if he's playing for them in the LCS, then they can be quite strong because of it. But he's only at 107 compared to like 211 from Skara. When we see full-time carry junglers, right, or even the last time like Diamond Prox played Hecarim, he was #1 farm in the game, right? Like you can feed farm to Hecarim and have it pay off. Insec is another example of an incredibly farm carry jungler, but again, the Dragon is maybe being traded for a turret as Kiwi Kid's trying to get this turret, while GGU is just going for Dragon.
It has gotten very, very low on health, but of course GGU with no effort whatsoever, nobody even trying to stop them out, and they will run away from this one. I believe that's their 3rd Dragon in a row, if I remember properly. Cutie Pie and Patoy coming for a surround on a Zion's part, and can he get away from this one? Looks like he will back off, but this turret is going to be under siege, and no one will stop him from this one, so Dignitas will find their 3rd turret kill of the game.
And they got a deep turret that time. The next thing they have to do, though, is get mid because they're pressuring the crap out of these side turrets. But to completely open up the map, they're going to have to get a middle one. Scar getting a lot of damage here. A lot of people collapsing on him, too.
He lands the hook. He goes on in as well. The flay, he's not quite going to land it. Scar jumping away. Oh, he misses the flay. He does land the wall of pain. That is Jinte, but they will not quite have the follow-up there. Daydreamin is not going to get that kill. And Scar walks away with a lot of turret damage.
Now, Daydreamin does not get all the ladies because he hasn't practiced his backwards flay yet. And he doesn't have a beard either, so he's 0 for 2.
No beard definitely hurts you. I mean, even Fisherman Fizz has a beard. You know Fizz gets the ladies. He's an awesome bro. Oh, yeah.
I can tell.
All right, so you can see Dignitas have grouped themselves to the mid lane. Skara still chilling at the bottom by his lonesome. Apparently Shadow Ninjas stand alone when you're Dignitas. He's going to wait around towards the backhand side. They don't actually have any wards in the bottom jungle, and I normally see that from split push teams. And he's getting away from stuff blind, which to me, that's really impressive to me, I feel.
Yeah, he's got those game senses. I mean, if you watch Fnatic try to pull off the split push strategy with Zed, you'll see Xpeke just like split pushing behind inhibitors with no wards because he knows his team is creating pressure elsewhere. It's just a matter of, can Dignitas create enough pressure elsewhere to let Scar do his thing? And when you watch Dignitas when they're playing well, Scar actually has a fairly low kill participation because he's off and off on the side, just creating pressure with the rest of his team getting farmed, and then the rest of them will create the rest of the pressure for him, right? And this is, you can tell what Scar's trying to do, I just don't know if it's working out.
So what you're saying is Scar is learning from the great Hotshot GG on how to play this game.
And Xpeke.
And Xpeke.
I mean, everyone did learn once from Hotshot. He was very good at a time.
I think he's still very good now, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's no longer unquestionably the best top laner in the world, but certainly the man has his impact in the scene. We're seeing Don't Mash Me keep going on the farm, 296. The one number we always say to look out for is, can you hit 10 per minute? And he's definitely got that. Kiwi Kid, of course, in the top lane, just shoving down turrets. This Dignitas split push absolutely working down below half. No one is even trying to stop him yet. They're making their way so incredibly slowly. This is going to be his turret, almost definitely, as Jinte and Nasus come from the back. The turret is gone. Now, can Kiwi Kid leave the base, or does he even care?
No, he doesn't care. He actually used his Playful Trickster to get a Lichbane proc trying to get that, and he still might get away with his flash. Oh my God, no. He almost made it, but look at this. The pressure is on from Dignitas because while that happened, Scar is pushing the bottom lane, and now finally GGU can't keep up. They seem like they're in such control, and now everything's just exploding.
Oh my gosh, they got Cutie Pie though. They're going to keep on moving. Oh, the hook just misses DJ Lambo. MashMe finds some damage. Will they stop Scar in time? They do. That bottom turret down below half health. No inhibitors are just yet dead, but they are available. GGU going for Baron.
So they know they have two people on Dignitas dead, and they've just pushed Scar back from the bottom lane. DJ Lambo does have his ult and his smite up. There are no wards in this situation, but GGU can kill this Baron fast, especially if Jinte gets there with Karthus. Scar is running down as well. GGU might try to peel this, but I think they're going to try to go for that Baron.
They're trying really hard to push out DJ Lambo. His health bar going lower and lower. He's got to go over the wall blind. Of course, the hook actually lands. Will Daydream go in on this one? He has the lantern across the wall, but he's just going to box, ignite, and attack damage Daydream and take it out the kill, and that is Baron picked up as well. Scar is not going to stop that one. Great pickup there for GGU.
Daydreamin' just making the plays on Thresh, showing why he is already 2-0 so far on the season on that champion, and now GGU will try to just go back to mid and make this one count. They've been sitting mid all game. It cost them slightly with those base turrets going down and a bunch of damage on the other side, but they got some kill pickups off of Dignitas' aggression, and this is really a window for GGU. They have to make something happen because they've already lost so many resources. They have to get them back here, Freak.
All right, 10 seconds left on the respawn for the jungler. Does have his ult and Ghost available. Looking for Home Guard, does not have that, but then now the inhibitor turret is under fire, down below half health. DJ Lambo is alive. Will they come in under this fight? Zion Spartan plays aggressively, goes in on a Cutie Pie, goes in on a Patoy. The ult comes off as well. Do they have the punishment they need? Zodia's used by Zion Spartan. He finds the kill on a Patoy. They're going to fire that one back, though. They've traded kills 1 for 1. The turret is dead, and now they have to run, but DJ Lambo has his ult. He goes in, he finds Nintendo. They find the kill on a Cutie Pie on the back, though. This is going to be so incredibly hectic. Don't Mash Me trying to run away, has shields, goes down to Scar. DJ Lambo in the mix, not going down. Double kill. Oh my gosh, everyone is dying. Only Jinte is alive and only 2 up for Dignitas. Jinte Zonia's, but he has no mana. Who cares? He falls down. Now will he land enough Skittles? Kiwi Kid taking some pain. No, it doesn't even matter.
That was madness across the board here. GGU didn't know if they wanted to fight or finish the inhibitor because Zion Spartan went all in zoning off the inhibitor. Don't Mash Me was hitting it a bunch, but then they had to back off anyway. And because they came straight off the Baron and Jinte didn't have a blue buff, he never had time to pool up enough mana to sustain a team fight with it. So it seemed crazy when Dignitas was going to run in 4v4 to fight a team with Baron, but it was okay because the resources were depleted and Dignitas had the confidence and coordination to make that play happen.
It actually reminds me of MLG Anaheim way back. I think it was TSM versus CLG EU, where they made the call, don't kill Karthus, he has no mana, do not kill him in this team fight, otherwise he'll cast all his spells and kill us all. And someone mistakenly actually hit the Karthus and let him cast a file in the battle. But
Dignitas didn't do that one.
Exactly.
He was very sure that they were the last ones to kill Jinte, and that does take some restraint. I mean, the nice thing about Dignitas is, aside from the fish, a couple spinny spins from Skara, and a couple spreading spells from Varus, it's not like a huge AoE comp. They're double assassins, so they get to pick what they want to kill. And then DJ Lambo and GGU just kind of do what they want in these fights. That was really big for Dignitas because they neutralized essentially the Baron cost of picking up the inhibitor turrets. And man, just thinking about how much back and forth there was there, because GGU got an inhibitor turret as well. It was a huge play, but they needed it because they had lost a bunch in the previous one.
Well, let's look at where we are in this game now. You're seeing 46.8 thousand to 46.2 thousand gold. These guys are only even 500 gold apart. Looking in a little bit on DJ Lambo, he's going to actually get out of this one. So the game is neck and neck right now, and GGU is going back in towards the base. Can we get in behind them?
GGU really wants this one, but they get rooted. There's the fight.
DJ Lambo up in the middle, so much damage coming out. Scar looks for don't match me, taking a whole bunch of pain. The shield is on, but he's going to fall down. They've traded 2 kills for none so far. Karthus falls as well. Will he have the pain he needs? KiwiKid, he's got the Zodius. Is it going to last long enough? No, the playful trickster keeps him alive, but they're just firing back so many deaths right now. It's Zias Bard trying to stay alive. Will he find Scar? He will not find Scar. Double kill there for ImAcutie. He's lived through the battle. 5-4-3.
That's the next ace for Dignitas on the next push mid from GGU, and oh my word, 14-14. This gold is even. There's a 2-turret advantage for Dignitas, but that is made up in gold by the Barons and the Dragons, and man, the playfulness and the tricksteriness of KiwiKid in these fights is just awesome to see. He's dodging around, he's really making Jintae's life difficult, and I do not know who to call in this one, because even though Dignitas came out in front of these 2 fights, why would I call Ghostbusters, man? Who's the ghost?
It's the song. Who are you going to call?
If we had like Yorick in the game, maybe we could call the Ghostbusters.
PewDiePie was killing races a little bit ago.
So we're going to call the Ghostbusters every game then?
Yes.
Okay.
They're omnipresent. Daydreamin'. Okay. Daydreamin' does check out the Wraith Brush with his lantern. Mash me back to the bottom lane. 310 minions on him. Looks like his pace has slowed down. And let's take a look at the gold at the bottom of your screen. Clearly you're seeing where GGU are focusing their money. 13,000 gold onto Mash Me. He is the rich one on the lineup, whereas Dignitas a bit more evenly spread.
It is real close here. I mean, just look at the Hex Drinker that got picked up by ImAcutie. Like, they're a little bit worried about that Karth Assault near the end of the fight. They're trying to deal with the double AP in whatever way they can, and now Dignitas might be picking up their first dragon of the game. I mean, they're probably a little scared of trying to pick up the split push pressure again, because when they were doing that, they were leaving their mid lane open, and GGU's just rushing up the mid lane over and over again. So I think GGU's response to Dignitas' split pushing is to rush the mid lane, and then Dignitas' response to that is just fight them, and it's actually been working out pretty well for Dig.
Let's see where they go on next. Good Game University. Well, back to the mid lane, of course, mid lane for GGU. That is where they've gone most of this game. Baron up in 45 seconds. Dignitas actually waiting right in the fog of war. They're baiting with KiwiKid, and they're going to go in. They find Daydreamin'. They find the corruption. There comes the ult from DJ Lambo. So much disruption right here in this battle, but they have not killed Daydreamin' yet. The box goes down, hits everyone. He finally falls. When they find kills in the back, DJ Lambo goes down. So much explosion happening everywhere. He's trying to go out. Scar is just staying on the 80 carry, but Mash Me kills him and stays alive. Zias Bard pops to Zodius. There is the ult from Karthus. Will they get enough? KiwiKid's so low. PewDiePie, will he drop down? Yes, he does. Zias Bard finds that kill. And it's now a 4 versus 2 on the map. GGU has an open inhibitor.
Oh my god, KiwiKid actually ran by a trap and almost got killed because of it. This will be the inhibitor for GGU. And that fight, Daydreamin', even though he died in there, got a pentabox off. All 5 segments of that box got broken. The slows were crazy. And even though Baron is spawning in 2 seconds, GGU is looking for more. They might try to push down these Nexus turrets.
There's only 15 seconds left until the first respawn, but Hecarim does not have his ultimate available. That turret down below half health. That's the first one going down. KiwiKid looks to go in. He goes right back out, and GGU will back off with just 1 turret down. And the respawns are happening now for Dignitas. Will they go for Baron?
GGU's had some bad experiences this year trying to finish off the Nexus turrets. I remember in the first or second week against Curse where they tried to go for it, ended up losing the game and kind of throwing that one. They're remembering that. They're all going back to heal, ready to just meet Dignitas at Baron. They went back early enough, Freak, that Dignitas can't just get the straight Baron off of it. I'm pretty sure as long as Don't Mash Me gets back, because he's doing a late recall in this situation. And after that last fight, I don't know who's going to be more confident, because there were back-to-back aces by Dignitas at one point, and then GGU just won a decisive team fight, had an inhibitor down, and took off a Nexus turret. So definitely the loser of the next team fight would have a bigger impact if it's Dignitas, because they probably lose the game, but it could really go either way.
It turns out we actually got our Baron timer wrong. It was 35:45. That was the respawn timer on that one. So we do have that on the map now. GGU, of course, had no Baron to go to. My bad on that one, guys. And GGU are just chilling up in the mid lane for themselves. with, well, no dragon this time, but they've got a lot of objectives, of course, available with super minions pushing down this mid lane. 17-15 is the scoreline. Equal gold, by the way. 36 minutes in, literally equal gold for both of these teams.
Yeah, we got to be really mindful of who is starting the fights and how, because like the last fight, Dignitas wanted that one, and they ended up getting punished for it. They really pulled in Daydreamin essentially with that initial chain of corruption from Cutie and then it backfired on them because the counter initiation showed up. Karthus was able to fly in, and they went for it. But when GGU was pushed way into Dignitas, that's when they've been losing the fight. So it's actually kind of been whoever's been the overall aggressor has been losing the fights a little bit. It's a little strange considering Dignitas has a double assassin team comp, but when they're being the aggressor, GGU seems to have enough peel back, and they're keeping their squishes alive enough, but when GGU is trying to get aggressive, it's allowing Scar and Kiwi Kid to get on the priority targets of GGU, which might be why we're seeing a really kind of scared game style out of both of these guys. They're just keeping their distance from each other. Dignitas might be waiting on the inhibitor, but the Baron fight is just super reckless for either team at this point, just because the initiation can swing so much about how these fights are turning out.
So we'll see these battles open up in the near future, and they've all been crazy. I expect the next couple to be as well. GGU University kind of over and over and over again, like a broken record, are kind of going back to this mid lane in pretty large numbers overall. Right now Mashme is taking farm off in the side lane, but keep seeing them cross this mark on the map, and they're actually starting to put a little bit of pressure down on towards Baron Nashor. Intended will take that ward out, and they've blinded Dignitas for the most part.
Yeah, and Intended X has almost no Q stacks. He's got a plus 66 on a Siphoning Strike. You don't really care about that as a jungle Nasus, so he's really all about the walking ultimate and the utility from his aura items. Daydreamin's got 77 souls, right? So he's got some AP, and they're trying to Reverie into Patoy. That's not going to be doing anything. That is now another spell that's on cooldown, right? So you can tell almost the passiveness after a really crazy game is coming out now just because they remember in the short-term memory what has just happened previously when they've initiated.
And one thing I want to point out actually is the defensive. Never mind, we've got a battle right on the wings right here where they find, they find Cutie Pie. That was the best possible choice for them. He goes down, Daydreamin gives him nightmares, and they're going to keep on moving forward. 5 versus 4 on the map. Lambo taking a bunch of pain. Daydreamin flashes forward, pulls Mashme in with him, but it's not enough damage. That Horsey is just galloping away too fast.
So they've gotten 1 kill, but can they turn more out of it? There is still an inhibitor down, and there's 1 Nexus turret. I wonder if GGU is fearful enough of the other 4 members of Dignitas because they are just piling into this space. The creeps are about 5 to 10 seconds behind them, and we could see the game here, but Dignitas is going to fight it.
Remember this happened before when they fought Curse in the very first week. They went all in for the Nexus and barely lost and actually threw the game away with that. We'll see if they can make not this mistake this time. They find Lambo, a bunch of pain onto him, down below half health. Jinte's still looking for it. He gets knocked back by Johnny. He won't find the kill. Now it's Scar in the middle. He runs back as well, just trying to buy time. Karthus ult comes by, but here's Home Guard. Here comes Lambo. Here comes Kiwi Kid. He gets the initiation. Knocks everybody back. Kiwi Kid taking a bunch of pain, trying to run away. Goes back in. Science Barton finds the kill. They've got Scar at the bottom going down. Science Barton is still alive up at the top. Patoy getting killed on the Nexus. No, he's actually going to survive right now. Everybody on GGU still alive. Nexus losing health, losing more health, and that's GGU taking the win. 20-15 in just under 40 minutes.
Good game by GG.